Welcome to Around the Board, a show where four board game enthusiasts and today one expert discuss board games and board game topics. This episode is number 82, recorded on March 29th, 2026, and we got a big steaming pile of an episode for you. And it's not because of our guest, it's because the games we're going to cover, but our guest is also very popular, famous. If there was a Mount Rushmore of gaming, you could make a case that Sam Healey might be able to be on it. So
I don't know about that.
So Sam Healey, who we all have known and loved for years, we're happy to have him. He's come from Flipside of Board Games. And Sam, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's fun doing collabs like this. So I'm very, very excited to be here. Thank you.
We're even more excited, Sam. I mean, everyone knows at this point that I'm a fanboy. The whole reason I wanted to do a podcast is not actually because I like board games. It's actually because I really love YouTube personalities. I know I'm lame that way, but Sam, I've been following you since the beginning, and I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks.
So I super excited that you're here.
Very cool. I am,
and it's cool to have somebody else who shares a similar faith. So that's fantastic as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Sam, real quick, I know you are have more experience with these upper echelon YouTube channels, and now you're coming here slumming with us today. But I just kind of let you know kind of the way this show works is we might start out slow. We usually start out kind of slow, but then we taper off from there. So
sure,
there we go.
That's fine.
Well, we do 4 unique segments, and points are awarded behind the scenes by a producer. And at the very end, whoever wins gets to talk for 2 minutes about whatever the heck they want.
Sweet.
That's right. But before we get into that, we have a great announcement. We actually, for the first time ever, we have a real sponsor. No more Raptor Rapture, no more worship, no more Axis and Walleyes. Andy, who's our real sponsor?
This episode is sponsored by SaltLyte, a clean electrolyte hydration mix. If you've ever sat down for a quick board game that somehow turns into a 4-hour mental marathon, you know the struggle. Snacks disappear, drinks run dry, and your brain starts making questionable decisions. Well, SaltLyte keeps you hydrated with no sugar, no artificial ingredients, just the good stuff, so you can stay sharp all game long. And you can click the link in the description and use code GameCon for 10% off your order, plus save even more with a monthly subscription. And this is all sold by my buddy Matthew Sumter, who I went to school with. I went to kindergarten with this guy. How many people stay in touch with people they know from kindergarten? Have you guys stay in touch with anybody from your kindergarten class?
No more than 10 or 15.
10
yeah.
or 15?
Wow, really?
What in the world?
Couldn't
I was
name one of them.
homeschooled and I'm still with myself. So does that count?
There you go. Round 1. Fight!
All right, round 1 comes to me for our Hot or Not segment, where we take a game that is maybe perceived to be the new hotness, and we play it and see what we think. Is this game hot or not? And today, that game is Night Soil. And before we completely flush out Night Soil, let's go ahead and have a quick teach.
In the game Night Soil, you're trying to earn as much money as possible because money is points, and that's how you win the game. The way you're going to make your money is by cleaning out the streets of Tudor England. And this is done in 2 distinct phases in the game. One is when you're placing workers. That's these right here. You can place workers in any neighborhood that is allowable in Tudor England, and the way it's allowable is if it has not reached its waste maximum. So I can place a worker here, and then I also have to place a waste cube or a little poop token in that neighborhood. And each neighborhood is going to correspond with a different action. You'll have actions like gaining coins or hiring labor cards, or one of the most important ones is placing a token up into the patron track. You can place tokens. Everybody will have their own tokens up here in the patron track, and that will give you favor with different patrons, which will give you bonuses throughout the game and extra actions. Now, the other actions that you do in this game, you have, after you're done placing all of your workers, you're going to play your labor cards. Everybody has laborer cards. You're going to start with 3 distinct laborer cards, and you can also use, every time you use one, you flip it over, but you can pay them overtime, and your laborers will work extra hard. The laborers are how you're going to actually get the waste out of the city. And every round, you're going to earn bonuses for how much you've cleaned out of the city. Whenever you do clean out an area, let's say you cleaned out this area and this area, you would be able to put one of your tokens in there. At the beginning of your next turn, if it's still clean, you get everything in that neighborhood, including workers. That is the only way you get workers back for the next round. As you see, the workers are not distinctively colored. So you have to earn them back with your cleanliness for the next round. You're going to play a certain number of rounds, depending on how many players there are. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most money is the winner of Night Soil.
All right, that was Night Soil, a game about, obviously, what we told you about, getting rid of the night soil in Tudor England. And this game kind of surprised me because it's actually raised a little bit of a stink. All right. I don't usually watch reviews of games I'm going to talk about, but this time I did just because I heard there was a bad review online. So I went and watched it and couldn't disagree more, to be honest, because I think I may have said this before, that might not be my favorite game of 2025, but it's a solid number 2. And so we'll get into my review of it real quick. Night Soil, going into it, theme. That's why I got the game theme. I'm not as crazy about this theme maybe as someone like Sam. This is my first leap into the poop genre, but it intrigued me, and it was one of my games to look for in 2025. It was one of my top 3 games I had to get, and so it was an insta-back for me. I like every decision made in the development of this game. I love the artwork. I love the laborer cards, what they do, how they can be so mean and divisive and all that. And I love how the decision to make the cloth board, that was controversial because it's not an option. You get the cloth board. And I've heard people say, well, who asked for this? Why did we have a cloth board? It works for this game. Nobody complained when there was a piece of cloth for what is it? Not
Canvas?
Canvas. Thank you. And that made sense too. I thought this did too. It made it that dirty, gritty feel. The coins in it look dirty and gritty. The whole thing just is steaming with the dirt and grit. And I found the gameplay compelling. I've never played a game quite like it. I love the 2 phases where you're placing out workers that maybe you'll get back, maybe you won't. And then where you're not only are you trying to, I'm sorry, what's going on?
There's 4 phases. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, there's 4 turns, not 4
technical issue.
phases.
I thought there was a
No,
technical
there's 4
issue.
phases. There's
Okay.
morning, evening. whatever.
Okay, you're right.
You can say that on your side. On your part. Let's move on. I thought you were saying something was wrong. You couldn't hear me or something. Okay, we'll cut that part out. This is how together we are, Sam. All right. I think that's very unique how you 2 completely different phases where your worker placement and then you're activating your laborer cards. You're deciding, do I want to pay this labor overtime? Is it worth it? Money is points in the game. So it's a big choice to make. It's like, if I'm paying him overtime, he better earn it.
Mhm.
And so to me, I thought the failings I heard about the game, I thought were, I don't know, superficial at best.
Mm.
And so Night Soil is a winner for me. If you're playing it with the right group, people can't get hurt over it. There's going to be hard actions in this game. You're going to have a downfall here and there, but you're also going to have big turns that feel really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I thought about it.
Well, I mean,
yells at me about it. Well,
yeah. Well, I think I was deemed to go second here, so I will. Thanks for giving me the number 2 spot. I appreciate it.
number 2, baby.
Who does number 2 work for?
Yeah.
Number 2 reserved for you.
We know who the steaming pile is. Thank you very much. So anyway, yeah, this cloth, it when you are done playing the game, it could actually be used rather well as something else. So it works. I mean, I could see why they went with cloth.
Yes.
I mean, it would have been better if you had to roll it out, but
Yes.
that's all well and good. No, I really did enjoy this game. I am kind of I would not say a connoisseur of poop, but I would say that I do enjoy the sophomoric quality of games that have this as their theme. And so I really we have a running thing on the flip side when we do live Q&As that if somebody just mentions poop in some way, shape, or form, we spend the next 5 minutes talking about poop or giving poop innuendos or whatever you want to call them. It's just something that we do. So the theme didn't turn me away at all. But it's one of those things where it's a difficult one to get people to play without rolling their eyes, if that makes any sense. I at one game night that we had, I asked Ken and Karen, these are a couple of older couple that have grandkids and all of this kind of stuff. And they come so that they can learn new games so that they can teach their grandkids how to play those games. And so I was like, hey, Ken and Karen, want to play a game about poop? in Tudor England? And they just was like, oh my goodness, really? But anyway, getting back to the game is one of those things where it is supremely mean in one form, because you are literally like, it has a strong take that feel to it, because I'm going to do this and it's going to totally screw up your entire turn or what you were trying to do, and so forth and so on. I also liked the different the rows and columns. I can't remember what the game called it. The patrons.
Yes, the patron tracks.
Yeah.
Where you could influence the different patrons that would give you those special abilities. First of all, I like those special abilities, and I really liked that mechanism of having to battle for those special abilities. I really do enjoy those, but it also carried with it a strong take that feel, because I'm going to take this away from you because you are about to really capitalize on whatever it was. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the duality of the turns, or of the rounds, basically, where you're going to spend half of the turn, generally speaking. There are 4 phases to every round, but the second and the third are really the ones where you do most of your actions. But the idea is that I liked how you start with a plan, you put your people out there, and then you're activating your workers after that, your laborers rather. I had a little bit of a difficulty getting through how those laborers actually worked, and it turns out I just can't read very well. That's how that works.
The struggle is real.
But I will say that the one thing that rubs me the wrong way about this game, and it could be a bigger something in the game is held out. You do not get to use this part of the game unless you're playing with the full player count.
That's true.
And I don't like that. You're holding part of the game back from me that I can't use unless I have all the players sitting around the table. And if I don't have 5 players, I can't use the none, and I don't get that.
That's true.
That's the one thing that I didn't like about the game.
And you can't use
Everything else was cool.
you can't use the sheriff if you're under 4, right? I think that's
Yes, sheriff is 4 and the nun is at 5. Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did Sam, so did you by chance did you ever get it played with 4 people? Did you get to experience the sheriff?
I did experience the sheriff, and actually the one time that I played with the sheriff, it actually determined who won the game, because Karen, the grandma, and I were tied for points at the end. She had the sheriff, she won.
Oh, nice.
So it was
wow.
pretty cool.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
So I got a question. So we've played roughly together, the 4 of us, but obviously you played separately. Did the person who won the sheriff, did they win all the other patrons as well, or did they just because in both cases where we played, the person who won the sheriff won everything. Did you experience that?
No, well, I mean, I only played it once at 4 players, so I actually
Gotcha.
only played it once with the sheriff, and she did not really spend a whole lot of time going after other patrons. The one that I really went after most of the games that I played was the one that allowed you to
Empty the poop out the north side.
do an extra
The extra card. Gotcha.
you don't want to poop the wrong way. And that's but if the one that allowed you to do an extra laborer.
Yes.
To flip over an extra laborer every turn.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just really enjoyed that. So, and my wife, she hated that one because I always went after it. She was always trying to keep me from getting it, and I never let her do that. But she really thought that one, I can't remember what it is. It's the labor party, right? It's the
Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah. So that was fun. That was fun, and I enjoyed it. But no, Karen only had the sheriff at the end of the game. I think at one point she had another one. I can't remember what it is, but another patron. But she kept the patron and just allowed it to help her throughout the course of the game. Then it ultimately won the game for her, basically.
Cool. So here, I will ask a question for you, Sam. Sorry, I know we're already going past the minute and a half, but yeah, everyone's here to watch you. That's
True.
the truth. What? Sorry, well, I just lost my train of thought.
Maybe it wasn't such an important question after all.
I know. I just lost it. All right. Well, thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
Kelly, do you have any thoughts on this game?
Oh, do I? Well, I'm going to tell you guys, grab your noses right now because I'm about to go full poo puns. I tried to pack as many in as I could, including quotes from our actual gameplay. Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. So as already mentioned, this game has several phases. So in the day phase, you're placing your little dudes, you move a poop, you drop the big one, or as John has proudly declared, I'm dropping a deuce, and that's 2 poops for all you civilized folks out there. I love the strategy here. Spaces can clog up if players don't clean them out efficiently, which is extremely important because you can be blocked. And your workers are not yours, and you earn them each round based on what you clear. So the laborer cards are also what you get kind of in this phase, and that's one I love blocking personally. So after I get a card, no one else can.
Round one. Fight. Sorry about that. Finger slip.
Try that again, Kelly.
You can also grab cards, laborer cards during this phase, and it's also a spot that I really like to block. So no one else gets one like after me, which is always nice. And in the night phase, though, is where this game really shines those turds for me. And you're trying to become like the ultimate like poop snatcher, like Daniel back in high school, as he always says. So you want to clear as much poop as possible. Why? Because every set of poops you get gets you coins, and the snatcher gets a bonus. So that's always nice. And if you built your engine right, this is the moment where you're like, guys, watch this. And now I will tell you though, listen very carefully to this part because the cards need to be read precisely, because you can have this whole round you think you're going to play, but you got the words wrong and it's going to completely constipate your game. And Andy, I'm looking at you because you had that card at exactly
I think
3
you should
poops.
just back up, okay?
You'll get your turn. You hold up. I got some more to say. And so he had a card that he moved 3 poops, 1 space. And Daniel the Poop Snatcher thwarted him from using this card by moving that 3rd poop from 1 space to another. But then John just came in and wiped the floor with Andy, taking his whole spot that he'd been waiting and building coins and people with 1 card ability. So John just completely flushed this poor guy's big move, and he'd been waiting for like the whole game. And I will say after that, Andy was just ready to dump on this game in this review, which is kind of hilarious since this is John's copy of the game.
Yeah.
But my final thoughts are Night Soil is not for shy poopers or I get butthurt easily crowd, but mechanically the game is solid. And just make sure you're playing with people that are mature enough to laugh at poop jokes for 90 minutes. And if you find those people like I did, you're going to have a toot of a time.
Gosh.
Wow, Kelly.
Boom, mic drop. Oh,
And and don't trust those toots either.
Wow.
They're deceptive. Hey, I remember what I was going to ask you, Sam, and I'm going to ask Kelly, you, and John. This
Okay.
is called the hot or not
me?
section.
Not me.
So we'll get to you, Andy. So what did you say? Would you say, Sam, that this game is hot or not?
I would say that it is steaming, which probably would lead towards at least warm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or freshly delivered. I think it's definitely good. I wouldn't call it hot because the theme can be off-putting, but warm.
Warm. Okay.
Definitely hot for me.
That's a very Chris answer right there,
Yes.
which is a old co-host.
Chris never answered directly.
He's got a beard like Chris, so
There you
He
go.
does. That's right.
Questions.
Fine.
Yes, definitely hot for me. And I'm surprised. I'm usually the one trying to keep us on topic with what the actual segment is. So good job catching me on that, Daniel. Yes, hot for me. And I think Kelly's probably saying the same, but
Well, I was going to say, when John first brought this game up, I thought he was insane. Like, what is wrong with him? Why do you want this game? Then I played it, and I honestly think it's a solid game. It really is. It's awesome. I would play it again and again. It is very take that. So Yeah.
All right, so this has been a love fest so far.
All
Let's
right,
see if
let's
Andy
balance
can
this
change.
out. You ready? All right, here we go.
Metamucil Andy.
Yeah.
That's what they called me in high school. No,
Yes.
that's what they called me at the nursing home later. So I'll give a little preface here that this kind of helps explain maybe my distaste for this game. It's funny. My wife and I have this weird dynamic. Her family does poop jokes. Okay. They're fine with it. They think it's great. I can't stand it. I'm just like, come on, guys, stop it. Stop it. But if it comes to snot or blowing your nose, anything like that, she freaks out. Oh, it's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. But I have no problem with it. So I'm more of a snot guy than a poop guy, I guess. I don't know what that means. Just for clarification before we get started here.
Two sides of the same body. There we go.
There you go. That's right.
Told
So-
you were constipated.
So here's the deal. Cute theme, I guess. As far as the game, meh. Yeah, normally, I'm pretty competitive, as I usually dismiss almost every co-op, right? But this game was almost too easy to pick on people. I agree with Sam. I know I'm biased because through my AP and my trolling ways, I have earned the label of guy to pick on. But just like in Catan for me now, you really can box someone out of the game completely. And I felt like Kelly did that to me to start the game. And just as a newbie, she'd already played it once. And so now we're going to make sure you're at the back end here. No pun intended.
Are you talking about when I rearranged the who goes first and stuff?
Yeah,
Actually, we found last is actually good for the night.
It can be
phase,
good
so-
during the laborer phase. That's for sure.
It actually is preferred. Going first in the night phase is actually not what you want to be going.
Yeah.
Okay, well, blah, 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 blah.
Sam has
It
spoken.
felt mean. Anyway, there was I consistently lost stuff. It felt like I was trying to build stuff and it went away. It's a highly competitive game. I just do feel it's a little bit too pick on someone if you wanted to. And so I'm done whining about it, but what else about the game? The other thing is it's not very intuitive. I don't know why, but for me, it didn't feel very intuitive. It almost kind of felt like the first time I played La Granja, the way the different turns went, it just didn't feel intuitive. It felt like I was doing things almost a little backwards. So I don't know, that kind of stuck out for me. It was only one play, so maybe it'll grow on me. I don't know.
So hot for you?
Another downside to this is you're moving poop around. It's kind of clunky. It just felt like I've got so much other better games that are like, pick up and deliver that are, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
Do you typically like area control, Andy?
Oh, yeah.
I like area control games, but this one was just weird.
Well,
For me.
see, I don't really consider this area control. Daniel says that a lot too. For the different patron tracks. I mean, that's kind of area control, but it's really just track control. There's really not area control in the, but you're just trying to. I think the problem you had, Andy, is when you can do something positive for yourself, you got to do it, or else somebody's going to screw it up. You can't just sit here and try to wait on a big turn with the laborer cards. It's like, if I can do it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to get these points, and nobody's going to take that away now.
I thought you said a big turd. Sit on a big turd. I thought you. I literally thought you said
big turd.
I'm sorry.
I mean, he did take one during the scene. Okay, Kelly hinted at it. I have to double down on this. This was an epic moment because Andy. So there's a point in the game where like a bunch of stuff can pile up in one area, and when someone claims it, you have to clean that area off to gain all the stuff. Well, it was the card location, so it kept piling up stuff, and Andy claimed it early on in the game, and me and John were like, Andy, you really need to like start moving that stuff out. And he's like, no, I need to wait. And I was like, so at one point he goes, okay. And he moved out one cube out of there. So it was clear. And he's like, yes, I'm going to claim it. And then he looks at me and goes, actually, I'm going to put a cube into your area, Daniel. And I'm like, okay. So then it was my turn. And I took that cube and I put it back in his area. And he lost his mind. And I was like, Andy, if you didn't do the take that, you would have had this pile of stuff. And then the next turn happens. And John's like, dude, you need to take your stuff.
You guys argued forever, and he wanted to get his way. That's what made this beautiful.
Well, no. That wasn't whatever. That was
John was like,
misplay.
And then John was like, you got to take these, you got to clear the area. And he refused to do it. So then John just played a card that said, I'm going to take your area. And Andy wanted to flip the table. And we were like, dude, we warned you like 10 times to clear that freaking area.
So I made a beginner mistake in thinking that if I had 3 poop in my territory, it was safe. I forgot that you can move my poop.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought with my 3
It's not your poop.
Yeah.
It's
Which that's
never
an
yours.
honest mistake.
and I
Get-
didn't know that there was a card that just switched places too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Neither did
not
I.
your poop, Andy.
Well,
All right.
the other reason I was keeping 3 in there is I had that one card. I don't know what it's called, but it moves. You have to move exactly 3 poop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
No, we get it. We knew. Okay, so guys, this is what I think. This game was actually fantastic. I played it shortly after we did our top 10 games from 2025, or else this one would have probably been my number 1.
Ooh.
I am enamored with this game. I think it is very I love area control, and I know John hates it when I say area control, but it feels like area control. I mean, it's not your traditional area controls. I don't have dudes on the map, and I'm not taking over, but I'm trying to claim the locations by being clever or witty, by clearing out these areas of poop so I can claim it, or pushing poop into other people's areas so that they can't claim it right then and there. Also, the patron track, it's very competitive. But as I had said with Sam, is that did the person with the sheriff, which is the tiebreaker card, did they always win? Because the one flaw I do see with this game is, and this is why I also say it's an area control game. Area control games, you have to play with people who are all in, or they truly understand what's going on. Because if not, what happens is one person can get wildly out of control. And while that is a flaw for the game, I think for some people, I also think with more play experience, and if you kind of are playing the game with the same people and you kind of elevate the same skill level, I think you overcome that. But this game can be example, when we played with Chris, and then again, I think John then did the same thing, is that I was the only one actively trying to stop John/Chris from taking the sheriff tile so that they would win all the other tiles. And no one was helping me with this. And this game is really interesting because there's a trade-off. Every time you do something good for yourself, you're actually setting up a move for someone else to do something good as well. And you have to be very aware of what's going on in the game as a whole, because if I clear off the poop from the patron track, that means that John can now play it. But if Kelly goes after me, it's important that Kelly takes that location that I just took off so that John can't get it. But Kelly's too focused on clearing out her one little thing of poop, or stopping Andy because Andy stepped on her toes or something, and is like, well, I'm not going to go on that track. And I'm just like, no, that track is going to win him the game. So there were levels of frustrations, but for some reason, I really enjoy that in these games. I enjoy that rock, paper, scissors nature of it, and everybody kind of doing their role to kind of make sure that the game progresses all at the same time. And I feel like that's what this game does really well. So it just sung with me. I don't think it's necessarily going to be for everybody. I'm definitely hot on this, but I think it's hot for the right people. I think if anything we said sounds interesting, it's definitely worth giving it a try, but you have to aggressive take that style of games. If you do not, then do not play this game.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing I will say, Daniel, is that and this is a way back argument we've had for years, but there are certain games that require negotiation. I feel like this could be in that category. If you're not doing a little negotiating, not doing a little table talking, it could be pretty bad.
Except it's in the rules, man. You can't do
No,
that.
you can table talk. You just can't make deals.
You can negotiate.
Yeah, you
just
can't
can't
make deals.
You can't give somebody
Negotiating's
something.
deals.
You technically could make deals. You can't trade things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't give people things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Daniel, too, in the game we played with John, you're forgetting I did not do well with getting meeples. So I maybe had 1 or 2 and everybody else had lots of moves to make. So I had to make some really hard choices. So I couldn't go after people, to be fair.
And that right there is why I think it feels more like an area control game than it probably should. Because if you don't control at the end of the night phase those areas that have the meeples in them, you're severely crippled next round.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and John, I looked it up on Board Game Geek. Area majority control is one of the mechanics listed.
Area majority.
Boom.
That's up in the patron track.
And we know Board Game Geek is the Bible. So there you go.
All right. And there you go. Wherever you go. That is Night Soil, and that's what we think about it. What do you think? Is this a game you could sit down and play while on your phone? Or is this a game that you Yes, Sam, what do you got?
One more thing.
Yes.
It's also area controlled because it is a doo-doo on the board map.
There you go. It's a doo-doo on the board map. Unless you
funny.
play with
on the
you.
map, it's Tudu on the map. So there
Yes.
you go.
All right. Well, let us know what you think of Night Soil if you played it or if it interests you, and let us know in the comments down below. Before we go on, Daniel.
Oh, we're going to look at the scores. We have Kelly and Sam are at 6. Daniel's at 5. John is at 3. John is at 4. And Andy is at 3.
Oh, nobody's at 2. That's too bad.
Tied with the big dog. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Round 2. Fight!
All right, now we have random task. And now that we've done all that poop talk, let's have a little bit of a palate cleanser of how to do dinner place settings.
Wait, hold on.
Mine ready.
Kelly, we're getting a message
Settings.
from our producer, Randy.
I am not ready to move on. I want to continue to giggle like a little schoolgirl. Tell me a game on your shelf that has poop in it. Go.
It's a random task.
Oh, there we go. I think I got one.
Okay,
This
got
one.
it. This will work.
All right, everyone's
I don't know
got
why
their
my
game.
games are always buried. It's just weird. Oh,
Well,
that is right there.
since this is my area, I'm going to go first. So my game is Too Many Poops. And unlike Night Soil, you don't have to upgrade it to get your fine little poops. It comes with a bunch of them. It's a cat collection card game, 2 to 6 players. The more cats you have, the more poop you generate. And too much poop, you lose. So you win by collecting cats, but don't get buried in their consequences. This is definitely, oops, I have 14 cats and my life is falling apart. You better manage it well.
Too many
You have
poop.
14 cats and your life is falling apart. At least you have the
It's a
poop
cute little
to
game.
all back together.
What do you got, Andy?
So yeah, this one was a hard one for me. I scanned my entire bookshelf of games or game shelf, whatever you want to call it, and I kept thinking, what has something to do with poop here? I don't know. And I thought, well, every farm game does, so I could pick any Uwe Rosenberg game, or I could pick several Stefan Feld games. But no, I wasn't going to take that way. That felt like a lame out. And then I looked in front of me, and I forgot that somebody dropped off a game recently they wanted me to review, and I played it a couple times recently. It's called Oopsie Poopsie.
Yeah.
It's a perfect game for it. So Oopsie Poopsie, it's a game created by actually someone in the Kansas City gaming crowd. It's kind of a take that party game, but it's more take that in a fun way. It's not as devastating. I don't know how to explain it, but it's all good fun. It's a party game. It's kind of a little bit of negotiation happening. You got to watch your yard. You're trying to get, I think 5 cats it was down in your yard before somebody else gets their cats. You can lure the cats away with like mice cards and fish cards. It kind of felt, a little like Munchkin maybe, but not quite as chaotic because you don't have a zillion cards. That's probably my biggest, complaint about Munchkin is like, I didn't know that card even existed. But this one, it was fine. It was fine. It was fun. It was for the right people and for the right crowd. It can be a really big hit. And I saw, we actually held a game night for college students, and they really loved it. They were playing it like crazy. Now, these weren't all traditional gamers, but they had a blast with it. Now, if you're sitting down to play with, your 3 buddies that are all heavy Euro gamers, no, it's not going to work very well, especially as my friends don't like to even talk during the games. I feel like we're all playing our solo games. So that wouldn't fly. But, I like Oopsie Poopsie. It's a fun little game, something to check out.
And if you were a frat girl, you would like it, right?
That's true. We had so what the deal was is our church had a board game night, and we invited all these college students. And we live in a college town. We're in Lawrence, Kansas, where the University of Kansas is.
Yeah.
And so we just sent it out to all these college students, and then I had some friends from the industry come in and teach. And yeah, it seemed like all that showed up were a bunch of sorority girls, but that was fine. They had a blast playing Oopsie Poopsie. They also like Skull King quite a bit. So there are a few other college kids that came too, and it was fun.
So it gets the lambda seal of approval.
That's right. There you go.
I get that reference. Stop it.
All right, Sam, I think you'll be next. Let's see
Well,
what you brought.
I guess I didn't get the memo to where we had to talk about cat poop games.
No, not necessarily.
So I am going with full-on human poop, and this one is called Pecunia non ole,
Okay.
which means money does not stink. And in Pecunia, not Ole, you are basically running your own public porta potty stall for a number of different people. And so you have all of these different, where is it? Where are the stalls? Here. You have all of these stalls here, which are actual, this is where the actual poop is. These are the latrines.
Oh my gosh.
These are the latrines, and you're trying to get all of these different people that are going about their very pleasant lives in Rome. And so the Senator Antonius Omnibus here, he's a big fella. He needs to drop 4 logs, and he's going to pay you 1 coin to do that.
Oh
And
my God.
so but the thing is that he has to drop 4 logs. That means he's going to spend 4 turns taking up one of your stalls. That's
Gotcha.
not very good.
Yeah.
This guy right here, let's see, where is it? The Burger Decius Hygienicus. He is much more the person you want in one of your stalls
There you
because he
go.
only needs to drop 1 log, and he's going to pay you 3 coins to do it. So you want these kind of guys. There are also things like the senators won't sit next to the commoners and all of that kind of stuff. So
Oh, that's cool.
you can put 2 ladies into 1 stall. That seems strange, but that's to ladies go to the bathroom together all the time. That's
I do. They like to chat. They like to chat.
That's right.
yeah, they like to chat, exactly. But they also have all of these different different cards, and this is German, but you got some bad fish, so you're gonna have to spend a couple more rounds in the thing. So it's that kind of stuff. The person who has the most money at the end of the game is the winner, and I did upgrade it. It does come with all of these little wooden logs.
Oh my gosh.
But we did upgrade it because of those bad fish cards. We did upgrade it with some runny poop cards as well. So this has been a supremely fun poop game for a very long time. I think I was introduced to this game, oh my gosh, back I would say probably 10 years ago now. And it was an old game then, or an older game then. And it just has really aged very well. This is one of those games that always, kind of like with Night Soil, the poop jokes just
I bet.
flow unimpeded.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yes.
there you have it.
Nice. This is actually when we invited you on the show. We've been wanting to review Night Soil, and so when we asked you to be on the show, and we were like, "What game could we review with Sam?" I was like, "Hey, by chance, have you played Night Soil?" Because I thought of all people, it would be you. And I know the reason you mostly got this reputation is because of that game that you just pointed out. And it's like this is your game that you like. I know that you've talked about it a lot. You've always showed that one off.
The poop game, yes, that is correct.
Yeah. So if we see each other in person, we get a chance to play a game. That's the game I want to play with you.
Absolutely.
Not battle, not Blood Rage. I want to play that one.
Well, I was just actually thinking from I think it was your definition of Night Soil, not definition, but your explanation of Night Soil. I was thinking it's a lot like Blood Rage because you've got the Loki mechanism that everybody has to battle against, and if you don't, then that one person that is running the Loki strategy is going to probably win, unless we battle against that. So it carries a very similar feel in that way. But talking about a poop game and Blood Rage at the same time seems dangerous. So I'm
glad you went the direction you did with it. All right. Well, guys, my game is also a classic. I think I learned it from the Dice Tower back in the day, and that is Primordial Soup. This game may not look like a poop game at first.
Oh, it definitely
doesn't even look like a game.
No, it is a game.
Oh,
this game, I often say it was the predecessor to the game Evolution and Oceans, because this game, not by the same people or anything, but what you're doing is you are these primordial soups and you are trying to evolve and you are trying to generate new traits so that you can, be the king of the primordial soup. So where's the poop, you ask? Well, the thing is, anytime you want to evolve, that means you have to eat stuff. And once you've eaten enough stuff, you can evolve. Well, when you eat things, other things happen, like you discrete stuff. And also when you die, you also get turned into little bitty pieces. So every single time you're going around the board, you're eating stuff, you're also pooping it out. Now, this game does have a catch. You can't eat your own poop because that's gross, guys. You can only eat
That's a good
other
catch.
people. Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm glad they put it in there because that.
But you can eat other people's poop. Is that what you said?
You have to eat other people's poop.
One
But don't eat
man's
your
poop
own.
is another man's treasure.
That's true.
That's right. It helps evolution, guys. Evolution.
So
Wow.
a
I think
couple
we're
things came to
breaking
mind.
Andy. I think we're breaking Andy.
You are. A couple things came to mind though. I thought if you're gonna have a poop game, you need to have something with flies. I feel like that would be a good theme. Like poop sitting out there and the flies come down on it, and I don't know.
Maybe you can have Jessica work on that game.
Not if you
There
can't
you go.
clean latrine.
Would
You
love
have to
to.
keep a clean
That's true.
latrine.
That's true.
Otherwise, nobody wants to use a dirty one.
Runner up for me that unfortunately I just don't like the game.
Well, how about if I do mine first before you start doing runner
Oh,
up?
fine. You're
All right.
Wow.
Sorry.
All right. So I told Daniel when we came up with this idea, I'm gonna have to get a little creative with my game that's has anything to do with poop, because Night Soy was a kind of a first dip into the yellow waters for me. So what I came up with, I knew I'd find something with it, and I know it's a great game too, is Rock Hard 1977. And you might be saying, what does Rock Hard 1977 have to do with poop? Well, I will bring you to the cards. The flavor text cards that they have in this game are amazing. And we have backstage cards, we have cards where you go to the club, and I'll just do a couple of them for you. One of them is from Hoover's. It's a nightclub, and it says, the bathroom is completely occupied and you really have to go now. You can wait and get 2 reputation, or you can use the sink and lose a reputation, obviously, but gain 2 fame because, hey, he's a rock star thing. Then you can go backstage, and who hasn't done this? You find some money and a scrap of lyrics in the bathroom. You could search for whoever lost them or keep them. Keep them. You get some money and a new song, search for them, search for the owner, and you get a reputation. Different things like that bring poop into the game. And so I think Rock Hard 1977 should be Randy's choice for best right side up game about poop. So there you go. And I'm clear and concise and short. There you are.
I think there's not enough poop there. Not enough.
Well, I mean, if Rock Hard was a game about constipation, well, then yeah, of course.
I say you can take that name any way you want to.
Right?
I think, John, you can wipe that off the list.
No.
We'll find out. We'll see what Randy says.
All right. Well, let's go to the producer, Randy, to find out who our number 4 is.
Number 4 is Daniel.
I know this doesn't look like poop here, but I'm telling you, this is full of poop.
There is a lot of poop in primordial soup. I mean, I think that's an actual thing that does happen every single round. You poop.
Yes. Pooping is a thing.
Well, Randy can't be questioned.
Number 3 is Kelly.
I can't believe it. This cute little cozy poop cat game. Come on. Rude.
You know, Randy.
I think it's because it has the word cozy in it. You used the word cozy. That was your flaw.
I don't think we want to talk
your
about
fault.
being cozy and poop at the same time.
Good point.
Number 2. The Cubby.
Oopsie,
I don't like the way this is going.
Number 1 is Sam.
Yeah.
What?
We knew that. There he is.
I'm shocked. Shocked.
It was an
You
excellent
love
choice.
me. You really love me.
Can't believe I didn't even get top 4. That's ridiculous.
I know. John's game about constipation. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
1 or 2 cards. Yes. Huge.
Oh.
I mean, you were close there, John. I didn't know where you were going with it, and you pulled it out at the end. I did like your explanation.
Ooh,
Pulled it out of something.
let's watch our terminology there.
Yes.
Oof.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, at the end of that round, let's take a look at the scores. We have Andy and Daniel are still tied at 6. John, also 6, but Kelly's at 8 and Sam is at 9 with the decisive victory there. All right, and now we're going to take a quick break for our sponsors.
Vantage, video game champions. Porta, classic.
Ooh, pipeline.
Darwin's Journey. Probably need a few more games. Oh, and Primordial Soup.
Guess there's not really room. It's fine. I'm sure I have enough. Hauling bags, carrying game after game, it adds up fast. By the time you finally sit down at the table, you're already worn out, and that's exactly why you need SaltLyte. SaltLyte helps you rehydrate and recover with zero sugar and no artificial ingredients, so you can shake off the fatigue, stay focused, and bring your A game when it matters most. SaltLyte, because game night starts before the first move. Click the link in the description and use code GameCon for 10% off your order, plus save even more with the monthly subscription.
Yeah, now we're ready for game night.
Yeah, did you bring primordial soup?
Oh my gosh.
Round 3. Fight!
All right, so in honor of Sam, so we always try to make a theme of the episode, and you would think that the theme is poop, but it is not. It's actually our guest, Sam Healey. And
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how he takes that, Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey.
Yes, that's good.
Andy led with this. Anyways. But the other thing that Sam is known for, there's two things in my opinion, and that is his love for miniatures and good components.
Yes.
And his love for Vincent Dutrait.
Yes.
So when we were deciding what topic to do, I was like, you know what? What if we force Sam to pick no good art in a game? So like the art's garbage, no more Vincent Dutrait art, or bad components. You can't have two good things. You only can pick one. And normally the host would start this, but I am super interested in what Sam has to say. So Sam, tell us which one you would rather do and why.
Well, I guess first of all, I want to we need to define what bad components means. From your introduction, does that mean that it just doesn't have miniatures, or are we talking about like substandard bad components?
I think it's what in your mind would be bad components. What components drive you away from a game compared to what art would drive you away from a game?
Understood. Okay, so I'm very much an aesthetic gamer, and an aesthetic gamer for me means that I want the game to look good on the table so that it draws attention to itself. You know, if somebody's walking by while we're playing a game, I love it when people stop and they look interested just based on how the game looks on the table. So for me, that's a huge deal. And you don't have to have stellar components for that to really happen. But what you do need to have for that to happen is good artwork. One of my, I guess you could say, catchphrases is that good games are simply, good looking games are simply more fun to play. Because you are not just engaged through your mind, through your brain getting exercised, it's also being stimulated by games that look good on the table. One of the things that I love doing, I am a huge Vincent Dutrait artwork fan, but I love playing one of his games on the playmat that I have from Game Toppers called the Lost Jungle playmat, because it's his artwork. And having a game with his artwork on a playmat that is also his artwork is like peanut butter and jelly. It's so good, and it's so visually appealing and pleasing. So from my little corner of the show, I think for me, I would say that artwork is more important than good components. Now, I will also say that if I'm not I get their usefulness, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a huge fan of the what's that?
Standees?
No, not standees. There's a site that you can go and have your game made.
Game Crafters.
I'm not a huge fan of Game Crafters games because their component quality is really chintzy. But I would rather have good art and that level of components than have great components with horrible art. Because if the game's ugly, you're probably not going to have very good miniatures either, because a lot of times
That's true.
those miniatures are sculpted by or rather sculpted from the artwork. And so if you have bad artwork, you're probably going to have bad miniatures as well. So for me, I think graphic design and artwork is probably more important than great components. Although perfect world, you definitely want to have both.
Well, yeah,
For sure. Now, I would say I think graphic design and artwork are probably two separate things as well. I mean, I know you just kind of said it there at the end, but I think graphic design probably is the first and foremost, because like a bad graphic design is like, how can I even play this?
You're correct. You're correct in a sense. To an extent, I'll agree with you. But and the reason I say to an extent is because before I was talking to one of the guys from Kinson Games, or Kinson Key Games, rather, sorry, with Galactic Cruise. I would have probably put artwork and graphic design in two different categories or umbrellas. But when I was talking to them, they said that Ian O'Toole, the person who did the artwork for their game, also helped out tremendously on the graphic design of their game. So really, you are correct in a sense that they can be separate. But I think, and Galactic Cruise is a great example of this, when the graphic design and the artwork go hand in hand, the product is amazing.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think Ian does Vincent does that? I know Ian O'Toole is known for doing that.
I don't know. The only reason I know that Ian O'Toole did it is because of the conversation I had with the guys at Kentucky. I've never had that kind of discussion with Vincent or anybody that's worked with him, so I wouldn't know.
All right. Well, I wanted Sam to start because I wanted to make sure if this was going to be a redundant conversation, he got first say, because I'm going to mimic what Sam said, because I definitely agree that art is definitely the most important thing. I wish Chris was here. I want to channel old man Chris and be like, if I can't play it, then it's not worth it. And if it's like, if you can't shuffle the cards or whatever, then it's no good. But I think for my enjoyment of a game, like I want to enjoy what I'm seeing and looking at. Sam, I know you said you want to see like other people kind of walk by and be like, "Ooh, that looks cool," you know. Like I want that for myself. And also, let's be serious. I don't know what your self shame looks like, Sam. I don't know how often you go back to your games, but I know for me, and I know for the other two as well, this is decoration. So this game right here is one of the worst games I've played, but I love X-Men. But Age of Heroes has to be one of the worst games I played, but it's going to stay right here on my shelf forever because of how good it looks.
Covering up those other good games. I see.
Yes.
Makes sense.
But this one had good components too. It had some really cool acrylic standees, which is #the future. No more miniatures, down with miniatures.
That'd be the worst.
But not acrylic. Acrylic is so great. Anyways, I want art because let's face it, this is decoration. These aren't actually games that we play.
True. In many cases.
Can't paint acrylics, Daniel.
I don't want to paint anything.
Well, one of the things that I actually like doing is expansion boxes. If they have good artwork, I try to get the expansion into the core box, and then I'll use the if they have good artwork, that's the key. I'll use them as wall decoration.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Kind of like in a shadow box design, because it's not just the artwork. There's also some three-dimensional texture that it gives your wall at that point. But that's one of the things that I like doing. So it's not just for the product. It's also kind of recyclable or reusable as well. So
that's a good point. Cool. All right, John.
All right. Before I get on to mine, I love how Andy was trying to lead the witness there with Sam when Sam was like, "What I really don't like is," and Andy's like, "Standees." Knowing Daniel's affinity for the standee, but and I hate to be
inside stuff sometimes here, Sam.
Yeah, but I hate to be the echo chamber here, but I was coming on with the same thing once I started thinking about this, and this is just me, because just take a game for example. When I first played the game, Seven Wonders Architects was at one of our Friday night game nights, and it looks amazing. You've got these cool wonders. You're flipping them over as you build them. This is great. And then, if you get a thing with a cat on it, you get this. And I'm like, what is this? this is garbage. When I buy I'm buying this game. I knew that within 5 minutes. And I said, I'm also replacing this. This is stupid. This cheap little Sandy. So luckily we live in the age of Amazon. So I was immediately able to get a nice cat replacement.
Oh, that's
Because
cool.
you can't replace artwork, you can't replace components necessarily that completely come with the game, but you can do this. And this inspired my brother to say, well, let's take it a step further and let's get the nice golden cat. And so we have many options.
You better watch
cats
out.
to claim.
Moses
So
is going to kick your butt. for that.
Obviously, you can upgrade the components so easily, especially these days, in this day and age, that the initial artwork is all you really need. You can repaint, you can re-implement, you can reuse other things. I just bought a sloth recently at the store because it was cheap. I was like, this is perfect for the slow gamers. So, I earned it last night. I went and grabbed it out of the room when I was playing with some people. I earned the sloth. I get it in front of me till somebody takes a long time.
I just
These are the
pictured
kind of
John
things
at
you
the
can do in this day
store.
and age.
I pictured John at the store. Honey, sloths are on sale.
Did you bring home more graven images? What's going on?
That's right. Exactly.
That's John.
John, you said art over component, but I think you kind of just proved I didn't get to this point, but I wanted to get to this point, and that is like I hate when people upgrade. Like I don't like upgraded components to a certain extent. And every time you show that cat, I roll my eyes because I'm like, that's not necessary. And you're like the people who upgrade Ark Nova by putting a little toy elephant on their zoo, and you're just like, I upgraded this, and you're just like, no, that is the stupidest thing ever. Like,
How is that not an upgrade? That is an upgrade. But
it's not necessary.
Yes, it is. You need
Neither is most your Marvel United collection, Daniel.
Yeah.
If I was Will Smith, I would come over there.
That would be a great place to put in like the color-coded bars. Difficulties. We'll be right back.
Taking off the air.
All right.
Well, John, you're just talking about a first player piece, which is not even close to the worst thing that could be a bad component in a game. So I think components affect gameplay. Art can affect your desire to play. So when I'm thinking about good components, I'm thinking about easy to read boards, cards that make sense and aren't heavy icon driven like the original printing of Hamburg. What a mess that was. We've already talked about many times Ethnos and that board. With the colors being wrong, too many icons, you didn't get it. Bad components, I think, can lead to misplays of games because you're playing it wrong. You can spend more time looking at the rule book than playing the game, which means a long game. And you can even score games wrong. I hate some of these scoreboards that are so loopy and roundy, and you're like, I don't know where I'm going with this. So do we even get a real log? I don't know. But to me, bad art can kill table presence. Sure, you're not going to stop maybe and grab it off the shelf or care about if it's out on the table. So maybe it affects sales, but we're talking about gameplay. So bad art can give an impression as well as it may not seem like a quality game, kind of like half of John and Andy's collection. But if the game looks bad, I'm not going to want to play it, but I'm going to get, if a game feels bad or doesn't make sense because of the components, it's going to aggravate me and I'm definitely not going to play it. So to me, the worst sin is not ugly art. It's when a game looks amazing and then plays like it was designed during a lunch break.
That's good. And Kelly, I'm going to defend you here because you bring up a good point, and that's this game right here. Our producer, Randy, is colorblind, and we played the original Scoville, and this is how we discovered he was colorblind because this was many years ago. The whole point of this game is walking between two colored peppers, and then you make a third color because it's like when, red and blue mix, you get what? Orange? Purple. There you go. So Andy's playing this game, or Randy's playing this game, and he goes, "Look at, I finished this order," and we look at his peppers, and we're like, "Those aren't the same colors,
not even close."
And he was like, "Oh," and we were like, "How did you make that mistake?" And he was like, "I'm colorblind." But this edition right here, they actually put little like their 3D peppers, and they put the R on there, the G on there, the B on there. So now, because they upgraded the components, this game is playable by Randy. So I repurchased.
Good point.
I think it's been more prevalent a lot more in games, which I think is great.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Also, Vincent Dutrait's artwork.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Sam, that's something that we have in common too. I actually really enjoy Vincent DeTrade as well. Probably because early on you were talking so much about him, but I finally had to say I have to stop buying Vincent DeTrade games just because he drew the pictures.
Don't you listen to that voice.
It led me astray so many times.
The aforementioned Ian O'Toole is also amazing.
Just make the shadow box and make it all.
There you go. Do that.
There you
You
go.
don't have to play them.
Well, I'm going to do things differently, guys. So
Oh,
first
dear.
of all,
That was a
I'm going to
shock.
throw out another artist because you guys are obsessed with those two. How about Ryan Lockett? Great,
Very good.
very good stuff. But here's what I'm going to do here. I'm supposed to vote, and just like in Congress, you can vote yay, nay, or absent. And I'm going to vote absent here, and that's because I don't care if it doesn't have good mechanics. It doesn't matter. It could be the neatest, coolest. Yeah, I want mechanics. I need
Oh,
mechanics.
okay.
My favorite games are Stefan Feld games and Uwe Rosenberg games. And people look at those sometimes and they go, what is this? It looks like crap. Throw back to the first segment. But they're amazing games. I love the mechanics. I love them. So I'm voting absent because I don't really care.
Wow.
At least you were succinct.
That
I think
was
that means you do
anticlimactic.
care.
It was kind of anticlimactic. Although I will say, there's definitely been some great upgrades over the years. Like the deluxeified Castles of Burgundy. Oh,
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but that argument just felt like you ran to the bathroom because you knew you had to go poop, and then you just farted.
Oh. And we're back.
but
Yeah.
I don't take
No, Andy, but your argument checks out. Sometimes you say things and we're like, no, that doesn't sound like Andy. This time it does, because
It does.
we just finished, by the time this releases, we just finished March Madness and board gaming. And Andy, everyone thinks your games look like garbage. Like,
Pretty
play
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Play great.
all right. Well, there you go, guys. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? What do you think is more important? Ignore what Andy said, because in all honesty, what Andy said is true. If you don't have good components, the rest of the game is what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Oh,
true.
But that wasn't the question, Andy. So
want the
question for
truth?
you guys.
You want the truth?
What?
I can handle it too. So
Okay.
don't go there.
I'm going to give you the truth. I thought the segment was about mechanics versus design.
Gosh.
Oh,
So I had a whole spiel about that. And then when I realized I was wrong, I was like, well, I'm just going to vote absent.
Okay, that checks out. So
That makes a lot of sense.
That's also very
All right.
Andy-like, right? Yeah.
all right. Well, we'll move on. So before we do, the scores are John, you're at 10, Andy 11, Daniel Kelly at 12, and Sam is at 14. But this could all change because our next segment
Good.
is anybody's game.
uh-oh.
On your tail, Sam.
Yes. If
Round
you're not
four.
first, you're last.
Second place is the first loser.
That's right.
Round 4, fight!
All right. Round 4 comes to me for the award-winning, believe it or not, segment. And so board game, believe it or not, is something we've been doing on here for a while. And what we do is we come up with some games. I've got 6, 7 games, split fairly evenly
Bro.
between real
Come on.
games and games that I've made up. And they all have one thing in common. They all have at least a loose connection to human waste. So we're going to
Oh man.
we're going to go through each of these games, and someone will pick a number. We'll read the game, year it came out, short description. Everybody will say whether they believe it or not. Sam will go last because I have a feeling he's going to know all of these games, whether they're real or not. And so what happens if they get it right? They get a point. I have to fool 2 people for me to get a point. I usually don't do very well, but we talk about some good games. So we'll go ahead and get on to it here, and we'll start with Kelly. Kelly, you want to pick a number between 1 and 6, 7?
3.
3. Kelly,
Just
pick
pick 6,
number
7.
3. And let's see where we're getting. Okay, number 3. Here we go. Waste management from 2019. In waste management, players take on the role of CEO in corporations focused on disposal. What will be your specialty? Trash pickup, recycling, wastewater purification? The choice is yours, but the competition is tough. Bid on contracts from different cities and make sure you can fulfill them, or your customers might get lured away by one of your competitors. An economic game with hand management and blind bidding that rewards dirty play. What do you think there, Kelly? Did that come out in 2019? Waste management, believe it or not?
And you're saying the name of the game is Waste Management?
The name of the game is Waste Management. Yes.
I'm going to say no because I don't recall.
She doesn't recall, and that is her deep strategy for saying not believe. Okay, we'll go from there. Andy, believe it or not, Waste Management from 2019.
Well, so my strategy usually is to see what other people did and then choose the opposite. But it's too
That's
early in the
about right.
round. It's too early in the round to do that. So I'm gonna say it's not a game either.
You're
I didn't
saying
hear
it's
anything
not a
about it.
game.
It's
Okay,
not a
so I
game.
may have already gotten a point. And we go to Daniel, Waste Management 2019. What did you think about that?
Well, you might definitely get a point because as a longtime fan of Sam Healey, I would assume that I would have heard him talk about this game. Watch it be real, and he has talked about it, and I've just outed myself as a phony.
Wouldn't be the first time, cozy
like
gamer.
I feel like it's a little too much on the dot because what you got Waste Management. That sounds like the games that who is it Greater Than Games that made them? That was like the worker placement game and the game mechanic game. That one just was a little
deck builder, the deck building game.
Yeah. So I'm going to say no, but for different reasons than Kelly and Andy.
No, for different reasons for Daniel rather. So we have no believes, and we go to Sam. Sam, what say you?
I'm pretty sure that is a game. I do not remember talking about it, but I'm pretty sure it is a game that I remember seeing in the studio.
So Waste Management, believe it or not, is a game I made up. I can't believe the only person I fooled was Sam because I searched for it because to make sure it wasn't a game, and nothing came up on board.
Pretty sure that there is a game out there that is about doing exactly that.
Really?
So,
okay.
That's cool.
But is it called Waste Management?
It must
That
not
I don't recall.
All right. So we go to Andy. Between 1 and we'll call it 6.
Let's go with number 1.
Number 1. That sounds a little more appropriate. Number 1 is Guess Poo from 2020. You heard me right. Guess Poo. A mystery poop is lurking in the toilet. Use your detective skills to flush out the suspect and guess poo. Ask probing questions like, is your poo fat? Is your poo long? Does your poo have glasses?
Oh,
And flip the toilet lids on the poos that don't fit the description. Down to just a few, guess poo and see if you're right. What do you think, Andy? Guess poo? Did that come out in 2020? Believe it or not.
That is not a game. That is
Andy
not a game
says that
because
is
it's
not a game.
disgusting. Disgusting.
What?
I hope it's not.
Wow. Okay.
You
So
know darn
Andy's a
well.
no believe.
What, you know darn
Daniel?
well this was a game made by Milton Bradley. They were trying to get the whole get on the bandwagon for that like mouth game and their other disgusting games they do. I also think I got like a dog poo game from Milton Bradley that's in the to leave pile soon. So yeah, no, this sounds like definitely like a mass market garbage.
Okay. So you're a believe.
Yes.
We got a believe and a no believe, and we go to Kelly. Are you going to give me a point here, Kelly? Guess Poo 2020. What do you think?
I mean, it could be a children's game, maybe, to help them, want to go poo in the bathroom. What's it called again?
Guess Poo. It might sound like a game it
Like
plays
Guess
a lot
Who?
like it. There you go.
I think I'm gonna have to go with no way. Sounds ridiculous. I really
Kelly
hope
is
it's
a
not.
no believe. She is not having it with Guess Poo. Sam, what say you, buddy?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say I've looked at a lot of games on BGG, and I have dredged the sludges of the dark underbelly of BGG in all of the games that have been produced that nobody remembers anymore. This sounds like one of those, so I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. That's one.
So you're a believe, and guess what? Guess Poo did come out in 2020. That is correct.
Wow.
It is not an
finally
easy
came
game to
out,
find.
all
though.
right, yeah.
It's not an easy game to find. But yeah, it's Guess Who with poop, basically. And there's all different shapes and sizes, and
Really?
they have faces, and it's really weird. You flip your
Well,
toilet lids down.
I guess if there
Yeah.
was any time for this to come out, I'll take it on 2020. There was nothing
Yeah.
else better to do.
That's true.
There was no toilet paper, though. There was no toilet paper.
Yeah,
That's true.
True.
That was the
Oh,
expansion.
you know what? Sam.
Just a point of order. There is a game called Waste Nights, and there was another one called Industrial Waste. I was thinking of an amalgamation of those two, which is why you
Gotcha.
fooled me. Well done, sir.
Well, Yeah, industrial waste sounds just as generic as the waste management. So
I
yeah,
actually had the Waste Nights box cover in my thing. I remember it saying waste. I couldn't remember what that second word was.
that's awesome.
Wow, I looked
Uh,
this up. This looks
Do you
crazy.
know who the publisher was of Guess Pooh?
No, it was more of a toy than I don't
Okay.
think it was even put out by a game company, but it's
Yeah.
a game.
It
But it
looks
was
So-
like
so
on
you
a
can
toy thing that I
Just to
saw.
clarify, John, you consider that a board game, but not Crokinole, right?
Correct.
Ha! Of
That is
course.
correct.
Most definitely.
We have an ongoing thing, Sam, where I'm a big Crokinole fan, and I say it's a board game.
Billiards is
I
a board
can tell.
game than Crokinole is.
And our
Uh,
March Board Games of Madness also disagreed, Andy.
There you go. Daniel,
Are you a
between
Crokinole
1
fan,
and
John,
5,
Sam?
what do you got?
I have a Captain America Crokinole board down.
There we go.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's fashioned after his shield. It looks
Oh,
like
how
his
cool.
shield. So,
That's
and,
awesome.
Nice.
And the player pieces are red and blue. We got it, and we've played it. We take it to board game nights frequently because people like the novelty of it.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a fun game. We're not very good at it, but it's fun.
Nice.
See, if
I
it
won
was a board
That's
game,
awesome.
you'd be good at it. All right, Daniel, what do you want between
All
1
right.
and 5?
Shocked that no one's done it, or maybe they have, and I wasn't listening very well. But 2.
Yeah, nobody's done 2. There we go.
Big
Okay.
2.
How about Sewer Pirates from 2012? In Sewer Pirates, a motley cast of rodents, insects, and other vermin sail the treacherous waters of human refuse in search of discarded booty. Players must make use of their crew's unique abilities. Assemble your cockroaches, weasels, and other critters to capture some leftover fast food, or amass immeasurable treasures and become a sewer legend. What do you think? Did Sewer Pirates come out in 2012, Daniel? Believe it or not.
See, this is John. Chris always liked to compliment you on how good you were at these.
Yeah.
This is in that category because this sounds like a real game that I think people would want to play. It's not. It's kind of like first, but I could also have seen you taking First Rats and just shooting that down into the sewers as
Right.
well. But I'm gonna go with it's real.
Okay. So Daniel is a believe that came out in 2012. Sewer Pirates. Gotcha. Kelly, what do you think? Sewer Pirates 2012.
I think you're too good at this game at making up these fake ones. I'm just going to stick with this could be in your collection, but I'm saying it's not real.
It's a no real from Kelly. So we got 1 and 1, and we're going to see if Andy's going to give me a point here. Andy, Sewer Pirates.
I think that cockroaches and weasels would never work together, so it's not a game.
The rest of it's perfectly believable.
Oh yeah, it's fine otherwise. Fine otherwise, but cockroaches and weasels would never work together. Never.
Andy's a no believe because of the weasel, conflagration with rats and such. So, Sam, what do you think, buddy?
I think this is a re-implementation of First Rat that you cooked up in your heat oppressed brain. So I'm pretty sure this is not a real game.
So Sam is a not believe. Sewer Pirates, believe it or not, did come out in 2012. That was one of
What?
Yep. There you go. So there.
Holy cow!
Yep. Holy cow.
Apparently,
right.
John knows how to research the recesses of Board Game Geek too.
Yeah, tell me about it. Actually,
There
that
was
sounds
more of
like a
them than I
good game.
thought.
I love First Rat. That sounds like that right there sounds like a game I would also put on the same shelf as First Rat and play kind of like on a theme night. That would
It
be
sounded when I got into it, it sounded like it was almost like a lifestyle game. Like you're really assembling these things. It's like a tedious process of putting your group together and then taking them out. And I think you might even get experience points and all that. So it might be like a campaign type thing. So something to look into. from
I'm out
2012.
then. Not one you don't want to play.
Exactly.
Is it actually Pirates, or were you just
Pirates,
Pirates
yes.
weird?
Oh, I
Sewer Pirates, like pirates, but no E, just pirates. Yes.
Oh, so it's also a mathematical game then.
Sure. All right. That's probably all we have time for on this edition of Board Game Believe It or Not. But did I fool any of you out there? Let us know what you thought and what kind of poop game that you have that nobody's heard of. Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll throw it to Daniel to see the results of the show.
All right, and at the end, we have 2 at the bottom. John, you did not fare well. Neither did Kelly at Believe It or Not. So you guys
I
are
got
at
a couple
14. Andy almost came back with 15. And then Daniel and Sam, we tied at 16. So with
Wow.
Sam being the guest, I have to say, you win the tiebreaker.
I win.
You win. Who would have known? Who would have thought?
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So, Sam, you get 2 minutes to say whatever you want.
I got 2 minutes. 2 minutes of playtime. All right. Okay. Well, I guess I'll stay on task here. This whole idea of and I'll open it up. I won't take the whole 2 minutes, but this whole idea of the difference between good components, good artwork, and good mechanisms. That's the trifecta, right? You have to have good artwork. If it doesn't look good, people aren't going to be drawn to it. You have to have good components because the tactile nature of it. But you also have to have good mechanisms. Otherwise, it just won't be fun. It might be fun because you enjoy manipulation and you enjoy, manipulating the pieces. I mean, and you enjoy the way it looks. But if you're not having fun playing the mechanisms, that really is important. I'm trying to help you out here, Andy. So I think because we've all seen the Kickstarters where it's like you're going to get 482,000 miniatures and it's $200 and everybody's like, wow, well, that's a really good price for just the miniatures. I don't care if it's a good game. And a lot of companies make a lot of money on just that, and it's kind of unfortunate, right? So that's where I'm kind of at. I think we need to get we need to get better at what we throw our money at, because voting with our wallet, that's a real thing, right? So I don't know. What do you guys think?
So maybe we shouldn't buy things just because it's Vincent Dutrade's artwork.
Oh,
I don't know where you got that from. What I just
Sam, I've got a perfect
That's just
example.
Daniel.
I've got a perfect example that they razz me about all the time, and that is I grew up watching He-Man. That was my jam, man, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so when the He-Man game, what was it, Eternia? I forgot what it's called now. But,
Clash for Eternia.
Clash for Eternia came out. I was like, this is amazing. It looks awesome. I'm going to get it. And I got it all. And you know what happens with it? It sits on my shelf.
Yep. Because
And you can't sell it.
You bought it as a piece of nostalgia.
I did.
Not as a product, not as a game that you thought was valuable. You just saw the thing and you wanted it because it was nostalgia. And that's a real thing. If you're not, if you're not selling the baby's formula to get enough money to buy the game and you can afford it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What you do with your money is your business, not mine. But it's when, I've also heard stories of people putting their marriages in jeopardy just because they can't stop buying Kickstarter games. And it's like, you got to come back to reality at some point,
I wonder if you can, at casinos, you can put yourself on a blacklist that you can't go in there. They won't let you in. Can you do that with board game companies?
That would be amazing if you could. It's like, if I try to buy your game, don't let me do it.
Do you know how many spouses would do this on purpose?
Yes.
This could be such a deal.
It would sink the board game industry overnight.
Before you go, Sam, I got to ask you a question because they do not like this game, and I think this game meets that trifecta you talked about. I'm curious what you think, and that would be Wonderland's War.
Oh, unfortunately, that is one of my buddy JT's favorite games, and I haven't played it yet, so I don't know if I enjoy it. However, artwork and component quality are amazing. So, and JT likes it. JT doesn't like bad games. So I would, only reason I'm half-heartedly agreeing is because I haven't played it, but I will half-heartedly agree that, yes, that is one that definitely fires on all three parts of that.
Sam Healey has spoken.
Yeah,
There you go.
I love that you defended
Technically, JT has
JT's
spoken.
game by saying he doesn't like bad games. Because I don't think any of us would say that about each other. We're always being like, John has the worst taste in games. Andy's games are horrific. Kelly just buys whatever comes across the.
Well,
pipeline.
I think
If it's new, Kelly's going to get it.
with JT, he really enjoys the puzzles. He really enjoys the puzzles that have to be kind of figured out through using all of the different mechanisms that are employed. But he's also a huge aesthetic gamer. But it's not one of those things where he will choose aesthetics over the puzzle figurey outy brain worky thingy. He really enjoys all of it though. So when we just got done with our top 100 games of all time, and all of his games are interesting to an extent. Some of them I've played before, and I know that's too much for me. That's outside of my wheelhouse. But the ones that I haven't played, they all sound interesting. So yeah, it's cool to have a buddy like that around, to where I know our tastes don't indelibly align, but there is a lot of a Venn diagram happening there. So
yeah, I don't have that either with these guys. I don't have that at all. So actually, they do help me. If they like a game, I'm like, it's sus, as the kids say. So.
Yeah. He says that, but he always buys games after me and Daniel have already bought them like 5 years later. It's like, oh, did you hear about this game? Yeah, we tried to get you to play it 5 years ago.
Yeah. I would say JT sounds like he has very similar taste as me. I mean, that's
there we
what I
go.
heard.
That's Daniel putting his 2 cents in. I'm the one you talk about where if it's a theme or a picture I like on the box, then I'm probably going to buy it, and I hope the game lives up. And that's why I get suckered in with that easily.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the category of Sam of someone buying things just because of the miniatures or whatever the pretty. And it's Marvel specifically.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but like I got.
Yeah, there's everything. Up there. Yep.
I love Marvel. I'm one of the real Marvel fans, though. I'm gonna be an elitist here and a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I was the only one that loved X-Men in elementary school, and I would put together game clubs just so that people would not game clubs, but clubs that were like, okay, we're gonna take quizzes about the X-Men, and they were like, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I was like,
what a nerd.
Yep. Because no one wanted to talk. And now everybody loves Marvel until they didn't. And then everyone's like, stop coming out with the Marvel stuff. And I'm like, no, keep it coming.
Daniel is such a Marvel fan that he is actually a part of the MCU.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't supposed to say anything, but the other 3 did reach out and they've scheduled an intervention after that. Just letting you know. We did watch, my son and I just watched Spider-Man No Way Home last night, because they're coming out with the new one.
Yeah.
What it's called.
Brand New Day.
Brand New Day or Brand New Home or something like that.
Yeah.
Brand New Day. One looks really amazing. But we were watching that yesterday, and that was a really fun movie.
Oh yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah,
all those ones are good.
I think the
Marvel universe turns itself around with the introduction of the X-Men here soon. So
maybe we'll see. It depends on who they get. It depends on who they get to do all of those actors.
That's true.
All right, we're digressing a little bit.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being a part of the show. Thank you for being a part of the show today. We've had a blast. You can find us on social media. Of course, we're old, so we're on Facebook, of course. And you can find us Facebook group there. We do have an Instagram. Daniel started that. I don't know how that even works, but Daniel, keep it up. And of course, you can just email us, mail@aroundtheboard.net. And Sam, thank you so much for being a part of the show. It was a blast.
Yes,
having you. It was a lot of fun. So.
Yes, absolutely. Love to do it anytime.
Okay, next week.
Cool.
We're going to hold you to that.
Maybe next time we won't have so many gremlins.
Yeah, that's right. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
This is what you
Till
want.
next time, we'll see you
Around the board.
You never know if Andy's going to do it or not.
True.
You should have won. Don't eat your own poop.
Yeah, don't eat your own.
That's right. That's what sold it.
Last minute I realized I owned this, and I was like, oh yeah.